Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really unique and powerful role in the world of behavioral health, the Certified Peer Support Professional, or CPSP. But to really get what they do and why they're so important, we first have to understand the journey they help people on. So let me ask you this. What does the path to recovery really look like? For anyone who's facing a mental health challenge or a substance use disorder, well, it's never a straight line, is it? It's a journey, and more often than not, it's a really difficult one. You can think of that journey like this. Imagine you're standing on the edge of a massive canyon, and wellness, that's all the way on the other side. That gap in between can feel completely impossible to cross because it is just filled with these very real, very difficult challenges. And we're not just talking about internal struggles here. A lot of times, the biggest barriers are frustratingly practical. We're talking about real, tangible obstacles, like not having a car to get to an appointment, or getting tangled up in legal issues, or just facing that crushing stigma from the community. Honestly, any one of these things can be enough to stop someone's recovery dead in its tracks. And just to make things even more complex, recovery is almost never about just one thing. Let's take problem gambling as an example. The overlap with other challenges is, well, it's just staggering. You can see here nearly 3/4 of people also struggle with alcohol, over 60% with nicotine dependence. This isn't just one battle. It's like fighting a war on multiple fronts. It makes an already difficult journey feel absolutely monumental. So, if recovery is a journey across this huge canyon, how in the world do you build a bridge? That's exactly where the Certified Peer Support Professional comes in. They are the bridge, and they're built from a totally unique material, their own lived experience. At its very core, peer support is not a one-way street. It is a relationship. And the key words here are shared responsibility and mutual agreement. It's really about two people walking a path together. It's just that one of them has walked a very similar path before. And this right here, this is the most powerful message a CSP can deliver, and a lot of times they do it without saying a single word. Their very presence is a testament to hope. It's a living, breathing example that the other side of that canyon is reachable. Now, this is a really crucial point. We have to understand what a CPSP is versus what they are not. They are a role model, a mentor, an advocate. They're a source of hope. What they are not is a therapist, a case manager, or a sponsor. They are not a clinical provider. That distinction is absolutely vital because it's what makes their role so special and keeps the relationship grounded in that shared experience, not some kind of clinical hierarchy. So how is this bridge of support actually built? Well, CPSSP is relying on a different kind of toolkit. It's not one that's about clinical diagnosis. It's a toolkit that's all about connection, motivation, and empathy. A core tool is something called motivational interviewing, and it's guided by this simple acronym, RULS. The R is huge. Resist the urge to fix things for them. This isn't about telling someone what to do. It's about understanding their own reasons for change, listening to them, really listening, and then empowering them to take the leap. And this comes to life in the kinds of questions that get asked. A closed question like, "Are you going to stop?" That just gets you a yes or a no and the conversation dies. But an open-ended question like, "How would your life be different if you made this change?" That invites reflection. It helps a person find their own motivation, which is always going to be more powerful. Another critical tool here is empathy, and it's so important not to confuse it with sympathy. Sympathy is feeling for someone. Empathy is feeling with them. It's about really trying to share their perspective, to share that emotional space. For a CSP whose power comes from their own experience, empathy is the glue. It's what builds the trust and the connection. Okay, so we've got the bridge and we've got the toolkits. But what makes that bridge strong enough for someone to actually walk on? It's built with these foundational ideas that prioritize safety and compassion above everything else. One of the most important materials is the harm reduction approach. A traditional model might focus only on convincing someone they need to stop, period. But harm reduction meets people exactly where they are. It asks, okay, what are the risks that concern you, and what can we do together to keep you safe right now? It's about prioritizing life and safety no matter what. This is paired with a trauma-informed way of thinking. And it all comes down to this simple but incredibly profound shift in language, moving away from asking, what's wrong with you, which is just full of judgment, to asking, what happened to you? That's a question that comes from a place of compassion and understanding. It recognizes that so many behaviors are really just survival skills born from past trauma. And when you combine all of this, the bridge, the tools, these core principles, the impact is just incredible. It creates this ripple effect of hope that extends far, far beyond just one single conversation. And the data completely backs this up. This isn't just a feel-good idea. It has real, tangible results. For instance, providing harm reduction services makes it 5 times more likely that a person will eventually seek out treatment. 5 times. That's because by building trust and keeping people safe, you open doors that were slammed shut before. But let's be honest, this work is not without its challenges. Building these bridges takes a real toll, and CPSPs are not immune to the cost of caring. Compassion fatigue is a very real risk. The exact same empathy that makes them so effective can also lead to burnout. And that's why their own self-care isn't a luxury. It is an absolute necessity. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. If recovery truly is a journey across a difficult and sometimes dangerous landscape, who do we want building the bridges? I think the answer is pretty clear. We want someone who knows the terrain, someone who has made the journey themselves, and someone who can stand on the other side as a profound, powerful, living example that it can be done.